Carolina with Greg T in the morning.
On 103.5 KTU.
103.5 KTU, the beat of New York. It's Carolina Bermudez with Greg T in the morning, and we have Macklemore here. Guys, welcome.
Nice. Thank you.
Now, I have been researching and watching so many interviews.
Yeah.
You have said in the past that Sway gives the best intros. I've also heard that Talib Kweli maybe gives you the best intro. But we have our very own Greg T, and he has an intro for you today. So sit back and listen as we let everybody know who is here today.
Ladies and gentlemen, you want to hear something so cool about this 5'10" fool? Well, he shares his birthday with Dirk Nowitzki and Paula Abdul. He almost got kicked out of Hershey Park, Pennsylvania. Let us not be rude to this dude. He's here on his new album, Campania. He's an NHL team owner of a team who ain't slacking. Only 4 points out of first. Look out, Western Conference. Here come the Seattle Kraken.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, his new album is self-titled Ben. Well, give it up then for Macklemore.
Oh my! Wow!
How'd I do?
Can we get an air horn?
Got you.
Can we get an air horn?
We got you.
Oh my God!
You know,
Thank
I gave
you.
him a bunch of different things to hit. I said, he has a wife named Trisha. You have a wife named Trisha. He's got a dog named Louie. Like, let's include all of these things. And then he went off on his own.
It was very impressive. The only bar in there that was a diss was 5'10".
Oh, okay.
That's what
Okay.
it says.
Can we get that changed right now to my accurate height of 5'11", aka 6 foot when you round up if you're 5'11"?
Okay, boom. He said
You
it.
know
We
what
will
I'm saying?
change it.
I'm a short guy. I'm 5'6" on a good day, so I'm really like 5'5" and a half. So
Yeah.
I understand.
You know what I'm saying? And then someone throws in 5'4", and you're like, no,
I got you.
no, absolutely
You're
not.
right. You're right.
Well, you know what? Ben is here, and Ben is here.
Yes.
It's here. So
Yes.
we are so excited. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Has it been 6 years?
5.
5 years.
Yep.
Okay, so I feel like we have been getting a little taste of what this album is like, but can you just describe the process? Tell us like how we got here today. We are so excited for it.
I appreciate that. I am too. It feels like the moment. Today is the day, and it's exciting. It was a labor of love. We were like almost done with the album, and then COVID hit.
Yeah.
And here we are
Yeah.
today. And so much life was lived to create this art and so many experiences. I think that every album is a chapter. It's an era. You want to get as real and vulnerable and true to who you are as possible in the creation. And yeah, I went out to the woods with some close friends and I just made art. And that's what it usually is. It just looks like that. And we had the best time and made a ton of songs that get to finally find their place in the world tonight at midnight.
We are ready to receive them. And, you know, as I was researching and learning more about you as an artist, you know, you keep talking about art. And I went all the way back. And you said that the first tape that you got was Digital Underground.
Yeah.
Which you looked at that tape and you looked at the cover art and you did all of, you know, you really examined it. And just as an artist, I looked at everything that you've poured into this album, from the rose on the cover to the merch and everything else that you're doing. Do you think that this is it? Like when you look at everything that you've put together, you're like, all right, this is good to go to the masses now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And yes, I think that it's a constant process of creating assets and doing graphics and fonts and making sure that the tour ad mat is, you know, there's so much to do that in certain moments, particularly like last night, I'm like, I've had a full day. I get home from the Knicks game and I'm like, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, all right, now I'm going to edit video.
Yeah.
Because we need to post something tomorrow. You know, it's just, it doesn't stop.
It doesn't end.
But yes, we are here, and it does feel like, you know what, we put everything into it, and regardless of you know, sales or charts or anything like that, that has nothing to do with what we created. You know, you get to a certain point and you're like, well, now it's the universe's. I get out of the way now.
Yeah.
And I let the music do what it's supposed to do.
You know, there is something you just touched on. So the new album's due out, and you mentioned the sales and all those things, and I'm sure, you know, everybody wants every song to become a smash. But are there any certain songs that are on the album, like, it doesn't matter if it's a smash, it just means something to you, it's from that heart that you wanted to put on that album?
Yeah, I think a lot of, I mean, I could say the whole album, but I would, you know, I think Taillights is a special one to me. That has Moray on it, and it closes out the album. Sorry is a very personal one with Livingston. I think that there's records there that really go to that space of vulnerability, and those are the records that I kind of resonate with the most, I would say.
Cool.
Yeah, you have been very vulnerable, and you did get to a different place here, and you've been speaking openly about your sobriety and just about your relapse, and
Right.
I think that is so incredibly helpful to people that you are that open. But I was actually watching. I'm on a Nas kick. I saw him last week, and he was talking about the King's disease, and it made me think of you. Actually in correlation with that, because for people who don't know, it's when somebody reaches a certain pinnacle of success, or and you have to strip away all of that, and you have to let go of the ego and just do the art. And so now you're here and you're giving us all of that. I wanted to talk about Heroes with DJ Premier. Shot here in New York
Yes.
City,
Yeah, very
over
cool
there
video.
at St.
Very
James
cool.
Deli in the Lower East Side.
Yep.
What does New York hip hop mean to you?
It's the birthplace, and it means a lot in a way that I don't know if I really knew until this year. Something about hip hop turning 50, and I'm not one for anniversaries. I don't know any of the important anniversaries in my life, but there's something about hip hop turning 50 and the life that it has given me, the life that is beyond my wildest imagination. This is the thing that raised me. This is what 6 years, 7 years old, and it's been with me, part of my DNA. It speaks to my spirit in a way that no other music ever has, and it's never left me. And I still am completely in love with it. I'm like, there's moments of writing where I'm like, I can't believe I'm still doing this. I can't believe I'm still rhyming words. But in New York, like, this is the birthplace of everything. This is the epicenter. This is where it was created. So it's the foundation. And I really, 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 and I think Heroes was a tipping point too. And driving into the city and putting on primo beats and realizing what I was about to do, which is shoot a video with one of my heroes, and how special that is, and how this place is so special.
Now, as an artist, has the TikTok effect affected you at all? Because I was actually listening to a different album the other day, and I was like, why are these songs so short? Songs, you used to listen to them, they were like 5 minutes, 4 minutes. Now everything is like bite-sized.
Right.
Did that affect you while you were going through the process?
You know what? There was one record that's not on the album that from the very beginning I'm like, this is the TikTok song. This one could go on TikTok. The minute that I like caught myself having that thought, I was like, nope.
Oh, wow.
It's not making the album. And maybe it comes out on TikTok by itself.
Okay.
But like, you really have to weigh what you value. And it's not that record was bad. It was obviously something that could have worked on TikTok, but I never want to get into the studio and say to the guys, like, you know what are we going to do today? Let's make a TikTok song.
Let's go viral.
Yeah, let's go viral.
Yeah.
That's never how it's happened for me. You can't calculate that. It's completely outside of your control what goes and what doesn't. And I would have never thought that Thrift Shop had the moment that it had. Like, that was just an underground song about secondhand clothing.
Right.
That wasn't supposed to be what it is.
Yeah.
We had Can't Hold Us years before it came out. We were just kind of sitting on, there's records that, and then there's other records where you're like, this one's gonna go, and then it's like, no one listened to that song at all. So you never know.
Yeah. Well, you had Greg T. You wanted to ask him.
Well, so I've watched a lot of your videos, and I've seen a lot of things, especially you and your daughter, and it's great. I mean, the two of you are like such buddies. You really are.
So
and
cute.
It is adorable. And so I have two daughters, and it took me a lot to learn about what they're seeing, how they're seeing life. And I'm learning things through them constantly. I just want to know, what's something that you've learned now, by being a buddy with your own daughter.
I feel like I'm constantly learning. I think I learn. I mean, I'm learning every day. I'm learning all the time that I'm with them. And I think what's something that I have learned, I think it's patience.
Ooh.
I think it's patience. I think that my kids, and it's not that my kids are wiling out,
Nope.
now you're teaching me.
No.
I mean, they are that too.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's not just that. It's slowing down. It's being patient, slowing down. I think that kids really adapt to our frequency. And I know that in my household, like, the frequency can be crazy, particularly around the album rollout, and we're doing and there's people in and out of the house all the time. And and I think that for me, being able to just slow down with my kids, be like, let's go walk to the mailbox,
Presence.
It's really
presence.
amazing.
Yeah.
Let's go look at the leaves on the ground. Like, kids find the miracle in nature in a way that I don't at all now. And they can go out and just find magic.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And it slows you down. It makes you patient. And I learn that all the time from them.
Yeah.
Well, it's so beautiful. You commissioned Sloan to direct your video. And, I figured if you're going to use your kids, I'm going to use my kids.
You know what I'm saying?
So, you know what? Noah, my oldest, has a question for you that we're going to play for you. And he wanted to know something because I said, he always asked me, Mommy, who are you going to be interviewing? And I said, I'm going to interview Macklemore. So for about 2 weeks since I found out that you were coming in, it's been all Macklemore all the time.
Oh, my God.
On the Alexa, on the Sonos, on everything.
Why did you write this song about your grandma? Why was she so important to you?
Why would you ask him that question?
Because it's one of my favorite songs, and I was watching the music video, and I saw like the grandma dedication thing, and I was wondering why is she so important to him, and what did she do for him over his life?
I love him.
Yeah.
He's
What a good
sweet
kid.
soul. He really is.
Like an old soul.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
And when I told him, I said, you know what? You're going to have to research. I really did.
Yeah.
I unlocked Google and I said, you can research and you can look up anything about
That's so
Macklemore.
cool.
And that's what he took away. So
That is so cool.
That's Noah's question for you.
God. Noah, great question. Great question. My grandma and I had a very, she's passed away a couple years ago, and we had a very special relationship. There was something with her sense of humor and her personality and her style. She was definitely the person that influenced me in terms of shoes and fake furs, and she just went there. She was like a grandma. She was from that era, and she was an amazing woman. She was super special to me, and I don't have any idea how Glorious came together. I don't know where the idea came from. I know that I thought of it, but eventually it was like I had to call my grandma and be like, I have an idea.
Well, it was beautiful.
And or I didn't call my grandma, I called my aunt because it was a surprise. I called my aunt and said, do you think that we could come down to Modesto and surprise grandma? And she's like, you're going to give her a heart attack, but let's try it. The rest is history.
Well, you know what? Snoop Dogg has Martha Stewart. You have Babs. I mean, you've been doing all of these hilarious collaborations and all of these things just leading up to this album. And, we wanted to know also, what do you think about what everybody is saying about you and just your connection to community? Because you are hitting all generations now.
I mean, I think that that's the goal, right? I've never been like, man, we got to get the 20-year-olds. It's like, if we get the 20-year-olds, great. Like, I think that what I have realized is that the music reaches who it's supposed to reach. And I don't know who that is, but I love hearing from someone like, from a 9-year-old to a senior citizen. Like that's amazing. That's what the art is supposed to reach all people. It's supposed to speak to the spirit, and it's not just for a certain demographic or a certain age bracket.
Good point.
You're going on the road. What can we expect from the show?
Fireworks.
Okay.
We might have that.
I wouldn't expect
Pyro.
anything less. Yeah.
A little pyro,
a lot
little
of
smoke,
a lot of. We're gonna do a fog. Actually, we ran out of the budget, but we're gonna save the fog machine for later. No, the show is. I put on a show. It's a great show, and I think what I'm excited about is that we have almost like a greatest hits set list at this point, and then we can take into album cuts and we can go deep, and there's an emotional arc to putting together a set. Because you can't just play banger after banger.
Right.
Like, that doesn't work. But what you can do is take them on a journey.
Yep.
And I love that journey. And I think that out of all of the things that I do artistically, it's one of the things that I have the most pride in. And I feel like I'm really good at that thing of taking the crowd on the journey with me on stage. I get present and we go there together. And there's something there.
Well, we cannot wait to see
I expect
you.
nothing less. If I'm going to see
Seriously.
Macklemore in concert, I'm going to see a show.
Yeah.
I want to be blown away.
Yep.
Well, Macklemore, Ben is out. Ben is here, and Ben is here, baby. Go and see him
Come on.
tour. Tones and I, Charlie on a Friday, will be joining you. And you always have a home here at KTU.
You guys
so
are the
you come
best.
back and join us anytime.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Carolina with Greg T in the morning.
On 103.5 KTU.